Good morning, students. Welcome back again. Hi, myself Janish Shah, Assistant Professor at LJ College of Engineering and Technology. In our previous session, we left a topic of array, how to calculate the address of 2D array in row major. Okay, we have completed one example here. It is on the screen that how we can calculate the 2D array address of one element of 2D array. Now, let's moving towards another example. See, now here the given array is P of minus 4 to 6. This 4 to 6, remember here minus 4 to 6 shows that row indexes starts from minus 4 to 6. Have you remembered that lower bound and upper bound range or range about it? Okay, it is the same as here in 2D array. The row indexes starts from minus 4 to 6 and the column indexes are starts from minus 2 to 10. Okay, now it is the integer type of array and elements are stored in a row major order. Okay, here already we have that element stored in a row major order. Calculate the address of P of minus 1 8 if the base address is 70. So whenever you read the whole example, first the base practice is to write the given data. Fine. So can anyone tell me that what we need to find? The address of P of minus 1 and 8. So here the P of minus 1, that means I is equal to minus 1, J is equal to 8. Okay, good. Base address is already given. It is 70. Size of element is 2. Why it is 2? Because it's a integer type of array. Okay, that's here it is written where it is. Okay, here integer type of array. That's why size is 2. Given R and C. Do we have R and C? No. Is there directly written that total number of rows are this, total number of columns are this? No. Okay, we will find it later. Okay, in array P of minus 4 to 6 minus 2 to 10. That means lower bound is minus 4. Lower bound of row is minus 4. Upper bound of row is 6. Lower bound of column is minus 2. Upper bound of column is 10. Whenever you have lower bound and upper bound, you can easily find out the total number of elements. Is that so? Yes. So that means here we have LR, that means lower bound of row. We have UR, upper bound of row. That means total number of row and total number of column can be easily find it out. Here we do not need R, we just need C. That means C is equal to UC minus LC plus 1. You see 10 LC minus 2 plus 1, it becomes 13. That means how many elements are there? 13 elements are there of column. So that means C is equal to 13. Now formula A of ij is equal to base address plus size multiplied by C into I minus LR plus J minus LC. Students, do we have base address? Yes, it is 70. Okay, put it here. Do we have size? It's 2. Okay. Do we have C? Yes, it's 13. Okay. I minus 1. LR. LR is minus 4. Okay. Plus J. J is 8 minus LC. LC is LC minus 2. Okay, so we have each and every element. Just put the data into the formula and get the answer. So answer is 168. So what is the difference between previous and this example? Same as 1D array. Here indexes are starts from minus. Here they give a range. Whenever you have range of indices, you just need to find out the total number of elements, either total number of rows or total number of columns. It depends on the question. Okay, now let's move into the next topic to find out the address or memory address of 2D array if the element stored in a column major. Okay, calculate the address of elements in 2D array for column major. Do you remember the formula for 2D array in of row measure? What is it? A of ij is equal to base address plus size into. It's a common. It's a common here. Okay. After that you write C star, C star, C star. But here, if in row measure we consider total number of columns, then in column measure we need to consider total number of rows. So the formula is here ij is equal to base address plus size into I minus LR plus R into J minus LC. Remember in the previous one, C is here, C into I minus LR because it's a row measure, but here R is near to J minus LC. Okay. So for if you remember formula for one, either row measure or column measure, it is very much easy to get the formula of another one. Okay. So you don't need to remember formula for both row and column. Okay, fine. So here all the description is given that I row index, J column index, BA base address, size of the element, I LR lower bound of row, R total number of rows. How to find the total number of columns? UC minus LC plus 1. How to find total number of elements in 1D array? U minus L plus 1. So how to find total number of rows in 2D array? UR minus LR plus 1. It is already given. See. Okay. Now, next. Example of 2D array. Its first one is calculate the address of A of 6, 3 if the given array is A of 9, 10. The base address is 102. Array is a floating type array. Elements are stored in a column measure order. So the example is totally like answer. Question is totally each and everything which we want to put in a formula is already given in this question. How? The I is row index 6, J is 3, column index 3, because we want to find the address of A of 6, 3. Another one is if the given array is okay A of 9, 10, A of 9, 10, A of 9, 10 is a array. 9 is the total number of rows, 10 is the total number of columns. Got it? Now the base address is 102, BA is 102, floating type array, that means size is 4. Here elements stored in a column measure order. So need to apply the column measure formula. See, I6, J3, BA102, size 4, given R 9, C10, in array 9, 10, that means array 0 to 8, 0 to 9, LR, LC 0, UR 8, UC 9, total number of R, row is UR minus LR plus 1 is already 9, but if you need to find it using formula, then 8 minus 0 plus 1 is equal to 9. Okay. Formula is base address plus I star I minus LR plus R star J minus LC. Okay. So here A of 63 is equal to 102, 6, 3, 102. Base address size 4 into 6 minus 0 plus 9. 9 is a row. Total number of rows 3 minus 0. Put the values and get the answer. Answer is 234. I know you people are very much expert in mathematics, so you can solve it very easily. So let's moving toward the next example. The given array is P of minus 4, 3 and 2 to 13. See, P of minus 4, 3 is a range of row, yes, got it, and 213 is a range of column. I already told you and taught you in the previous example. Okay, it's an integer type array. So type of array is given. It's an integer type of array. So size can be 4, 2. Don't 4. In float, the size is 4. Here it's 2 only. Okay. And elements are stored in a column measure order. Calculate the address of 36th element if the base address is 150. So we know each and everything. Okay, so just let's start. What is I? Don't know what is I? I means okay. Just leave it. Don't think much about the I. First, just write it down. Whatever the things given or data given in this example. Okay, I and J don't know. Okay, which address is 150, size integer, so it's 2. Given row and columns, total number of R and C we need to calculate. Okay, array is P of minus 4, 3, 2, 13. So lower bound of row is minus 4, lower bound of upper bound of row is 3, lower bound of column is 2, upper bound of column is 13. So using this formula, we can find out the total number of rows. Okay, total number of row R is equal to UR minus LR plus 1. That means 3 minus 4 plus 1 is equal to 8. Here we also need total number of columns. Why? You will understand later in this example after my explanation. So C is equal to UC minus LC plus 1 is equal to 13 minus 2 plus 1 is equal to 12. Okay, so here two things we already get. Total number of row is 8, total number of column is 12. But what about the 36th element? Because without I and J, we cannot move further. Students, here we need to find a 36 element, but 36 element, it is very easy to find it, sir. How? Take a 2D array. Okay, just consider 3 by 3 matrix. Okay, 3 by 3 matrix, 3 cross 3 array. Okay, what is the third element? According to 1, 2, 3, this is the third element. Fine, 1, 2, 3, third element. So the row index is 0, column index is 2, 0, 2, 0, 2. Okay, I need to find the address of seventh element. Okay, seventh element, 1, 2, 3, 3 cross 3 matrix, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Row is 2, column is 0. Okay, such like that we can get the address of 36 element over here. But the question is, in my example 3 cross 3 matrix, what I did, I just calculate the seventh element according to the row. See, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 7. This can be happen only if the element stored in the row major, but here element stored in a column major. So we need to calculate the columns. Column 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's why I'll calculate total number of columns 12, total number of row 8. So let's see. Take this. If the array is such like this, I'm going to put the indexes. The column index 2 to 13, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 up to dash dash dash. Row index is minus 4, minus 3, minus 2, minus 1, 0, 1, 2, dash dash dash. Okay, fine. This range is enough for me to find out or giving to the solution of I and J. Okay. Now calculate the column measure. See, listen a bit carefully. The elements are stored in a column measure. That's why we need to calculate this. Now, how many elements stored in one column? One column. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. 8 elements are stored over here. Okay. Because total number of row are 8. So 8 elements stored over here. So 8, another column. 8, another 8, another 8. 8 fours are 32. 32 elements are completed. Fine. So up to this 1, 2, 3, 4. 8 fours are 32 elements are completed. Now calculate 33, 34, 35, 36. We get 36th element. How? Each column contains 8 elements. See, so 4 columns is equal to 8 multiplied by 4, 32 plus 2 is equal to 36 element. This element becomes your 36th element. This, isn't it cool? Okay, so go ahead. Here I becomes minus 1, J becomes 6. Students, you have each and everything. I and J is here. So put into the formula and get the answer. You people are very intelligent. Okay. Fine. So after 2D array, let's focus on the next topic, which is known as sparse matrix. This is very interesting one. Sparse matrix. Okay. So what do you mean by the sparse matrix? See, matrices with relatively high proportion of zero or null entries are called as sparse matrix. Consider our previous one where 12 columns and 8 rows are there. So how many elements are there? 12 multiplied by 8, 120. Okay. So 120 elements are there. If from 120 elements, 80 elements, 70 elements, 90 elements are zero only or has null entries, then that matrix also known as sparse matrix. Okay. So sparse matrix is nothing but a matrix in which so many elements are zero or has null entries. Okay. So what is the problem, sir? Okay. Due to this zero and null entries, there is no value of zero and null in matrix. We need to just remove it and minimize the size of the matrix, because 120 elements are there and 120 elements is the integer type of array. Then 120 elements occupies 240. 120 multiplied by 2. 240 size in the memory. I don't want to use or waste such type of memories for zeros entries. So what I do, I convert sparse matrix into another matrix where I ignore the zero entries and make a new one. So how to minimize the sparse matrix? Let us see. The first step is make a new matrix with n plus 1 rows. Make a new matrix with n plus 1 rows where n is equal to number of rows in sparse matrix. If your sparse matrix contains 3 rows, so your sparse matrix contains 3 rows, the new matrix will become 3 plus 1 of 4 rows. Fine. Okay. New matrix has fixed 3 columns. Listen students, here do not worry about the number of columns because here columns are fixed. First column shows the row index, second column shows the column index, and the third column shows the number of non-zero elements or non-zero values. Okay, so first for row, second for column, third for the non-zero values. So here columns are fixed, 3 columns, and how many rows? 3 plus 1? No, n plus 1, where n is the number of rows. Okay, good. Next one is in the matrix the first row is fixed. You know, first row is fixed. The first row is total number of row, total number of column, total number of non-zero values. Okay, let's see the example. Sparse matrix. Consider this sparse matrix. See how many non-zero, how so there are so many zeros over here. Okay, few entries for non-zero elements. This matrix is 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and row index is, column index is 5. That means total 6 cross 7 matrix is there. So 6 rows and 7 columns. If integer matrix, then total 42 elements. So it occupies 84 bytes in the memory. Okay, it's very huge because non-zero elements are 24, 18, 9, 1, 2, no, 3, 4, and 5. Only 5 elements are there. It should occupy 10, but it occupies 84. So what to do? We need to convert this matrix into another matrix. Okay. So, sir, how many rows are there in column? How many rows are here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 rows. And column only 3. Total number of rows. First row contains total number of rows 6. Total number of column 7. Total number of non-zero values 5. This is the first row. This is a fixed one. You cannot overcome it. Okay. Now the next one is total number of non-zero values. How many non-zero values are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So you need only 5 rows. Okay. Now first consider 24. See 24. Row index is 0. Write it down over here. Next one is column index 3. 3 here. What is the element? 24. 24 here. Did you get it? Isn't it easy? Okay, so first, here is 1, 1, next non-zero element. 1 is a row index. Write it down over here. 6 is a column index. Write it down over here. And the element is 5. Okay, the next non-zero element is 9, 9 row index, 3 column index, 4 right over here, element is 9, write that down here. Next one is 18, row index, 4 column index, again 4. Oh, and the element is 18. Fine. The next one is 8, row index 6, 5, write it down here. Then column index 0 and 8. See students, the new matrix is size 6 cross 3. 18 elements are there. First row is fixed with total number of rows, total number of columns, total number of non-zero values. And after that, according to the row measure, calculate the non-zero values. Non-zero values, row index, column index, non-zero value. Row index, column index, non-zero value. Row index, column index, non-zero value. Isn't it easy? See, compare 84 bytes in sparse matrix. After converting it, it occupies only 36 bytes. Okay. So thank you so much. In today's lecture, we learned about the remaining part of array, 2D array, column measure, and sparse matrix. If you have any doubt in such topics, then feel free to contact me. Thank you.